Hi everyone. So I'm just making a quick video on how to be grateful in the moment, particularly when we are facing adversities and circumstances and undesirable situations that we are finding it a little bit of a challenge to be grateful in the moment. And first of all, I want to point out that when we are facing circumstances and finding things undesirable and a little bit of a challenge to overcome, deep down inside there is a inner knowing within us that knows that we can overcome it, and that is actually where the frustration is coming from, because deep down inside you know you can overcome what it is that is in front of you. You know deep down inside that you can achieve what it is in front of you, and the frustration and the stress and things that are coming in is because it is not in true alignment with what you actually truly believe within. Now, this happens because we allow outside circumstances to validate where we are in the moment. And when we are not seeing validations in our 3D, let's say, for example, we're manifesting money or houses or cars or relationships, better physique, better whatever it is that we are manifesting. And let's say it's taken a little bit of time, and then we start to notice the time, which causes us a little bit of frustration. But remember, time is actually an illusion, because all we have is the present moment. The past is gone and the future is not here, because all we have is the present moment, and then we go into another present moment and another present moment, so it's all in the present moment. Now, we do have an ability to create our future by what we choose to think in the present moment, but let's face it, we are human and we're going to have emotions of frustration and stress when we feel like we are not actually gaining what it is that we are desiring to manifest in our life. So in the moment, how we actually be grateful is we're not actually affirming that we're grateful for the circumstance because it's showing me this or it's leading me this way. We're not saying that we're grateful for the adversity because it's showing me to go down this path, or it's showing me that I have to overcome this to go there. No, we are always instantly manifesting. And because we are always instantly manifesting, it is coming from within. And so when outside circumstances pop up that are undesirable, those are not the things that we're thankful for. What we are actually thankful for is what we hold within. It's the characteristics that we hold within. So all of these characteristics that we hold within are ways for us to, we build them up through our actual mindset elevation. So it's a mindset game, it's a mindset development game, you could say, when you want to level up in your life, because you're changing all of the negative programs in your mind into positive new ones. So as you do this, it does become a lot easier to overcome challenges and things that come up in your reality, because when they come up in your reality, they're not as challenging as they once were, because your mind is elevating up. And so sometimes this can actually happen in a way that you don't even notice them in the same way as you would before, or what you perceived as a circumstance before when you were in a different story is not a circumstance now in your new story. So you observe it. Remember, quantum physics says that we are observing our reality. So if we are observing our reality, then in that moment that our mind is more elevated, we are observing this situation or circumstance in an entirely different way, through the lens of our mind, because our mind is on a new story. Then we don't even see it as a circumstance. So what we're being grateful for in the moment is we're grateful for the ability to build our inner strength. We are grateful for the ability to build our confidence. So we are grateful for the ability to discipline ourselves. So all of these characteristics that we are developing along the way that we may not have previously had before, we are actually training in a way to step up in our mind as well. So we are grateful for the love that we actually give ourselves in these moments, because another part of mindset development and manifestation is, well, the strongest part, I suppose I should say, is self-love. It's giving yourself the pass to forgive yourself for any perceived setbacks, it's giving yourself the permission to believe in yourself, it's nurturing yourself in such a way that you would be nurturing a child. And you will find that as you are continuing to change your mindset and develop your mindset, you become more nurturing to yourself too. So these are other things that we are grateful for as well. Then we are grateful for the knowledge that we are gaining through the realization that we create our reality. We're grateful for the morality that we gain as well too, because we become more moral in our ways, which means that we are not judging in a way that we once would have. We become more moral in our behaviors, in a sense that we are maybe perhaps giving more to society, or we are allowing ourselves to accept, because a big part as well too, when we are not loving ourselves in a way that is allowing ourselves to accept maybe, compliments, or accept things from people, accept love from others as well too, because if we're not actually in love with our life, I suppose I could say, but not only that, by the way that we are as a person, it's harder for us to accept love from somebody else than who is willing to give it to us, because we don't unconsciously, this is all unconscious when we're not being aware of building our mindset, we unconsciously can push people away. And so as we are elevating our mindset, we can be grateful for the ability to receive love, to accept love from others without feeling uncomfortable. We are also developing a more of a comfortable mechanism within our body, because of how we are self-soothing ourselves through our self-regulation, as I talked about before. We are also developing more focus within ourselves, because we are keeping our thoughts on affirmations that we choose to say to ourselves that tell the new story. We are looking after ourselves in a way physically as well too, because with mindset development comes the outer side as well too. And even on an unconscious level, you will find that behaviors before may fall away, even little habits of that we may have had before, we will notice that, well, I don't actually do that anymore, or little things that we would have been doing before we started working on our mindset will start to actually dissolve away, because it's like a manifestation of your mind elevating up. So your mind wants more water, more nutritious food, it craves exercise, and all of these things that we are learning along the way. And these are the things that we are supposed to be grateful for in the moment. So when we are feeling like things are defeating us in our 3D reality, it's to come back into the moment. And it's not to, it's not to say that, oh, well, I'm grateful for this happening because this happening. It's about saying to yourself, okay, well, how am I overcoming this? And how I am overcoming this is building my character more. It's given me strength. It's given me the ability to open my heart more. It's given me the ability to allow things into my experience more. It's building my confidence. It's building my knowledge, my focus, my discipline, who I am as a person, how I am as in my behaviors. And these are all the things that we are grateful for, because when we are manifesting for things, physical things in our reality, it's never really about the physical thing. I mean, it's great when things come along in our reality that we are desiring and we manifest it in. The validation from it is a great feeling. But if we're not working on our mindset and we don't know our worth and our value, we will tend then to kind of jeopardize it in a way. And I'm not saying this as a limiting belief, but if you don't know how worthy you are and how valuable you are in this world, then how is it supposed to be a continued thing for somebody else to think it as well too? Because we can know that we are valuable, and we can know that we are worthy in an egotistical way, meaning that we can tell ourselves that and say, well, hang on a second, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, or whatever. But if we don't actually know it within, in a spiritual kind of way, in a way that we are worthy and valuable no matter what it is we have or who it is that we have in our life, because that is just who we are, we will tend to kind of not believe it as much then. So let's say, for example, we just tell ourselves, I'm worthy and valuable, but we are not doing things to actually reflect that about ourselves, doing things in a way that we actually believe that about ourselves. Then we will kind of when things pop up in our reality, we will unconsciously push things away in a way that we are thinking to ourselves unconsciously, that when we don't get the validation of being worthy and being valuable, then we are starting to think then that we're not, that we don't, because we're believing in the outside validation, is what I'm trying to say, more than how we spiritually and knowingly feel about being valuable and worthy within, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to make a video on that what you're gaining in the moment when adversities or circumstances or things that are not unfolding in a quick manner for you, because remember, everything is always working out for you anyway, so you're always going to get what you want down the end of the road. And it isn't even about waiting, because there's nothing to wait for. Everything is an instant manifestation. It is all in the present moment. But obviously, when we are desiring to manifest things that we may not have experienced before in our life, there can be there can be a bit of a time delay and a time lag, because we've not experienced the validation of it, I should say, then in the 3D, to know how to tell our mind and our subconscious mind straight away that is that. And that's okay, but that's what we're learning along the way. We're learning how to do that along the way. And so as we learn to do that, then this is how we are attracted more into our reality. But it's to understand that it's never about being so grateful for, I mean, we can be grateful for all of the great things that we have, the physicalities of things in our life, but it's to be grateful for everything that we learn along the way, for the feeling, for the virtues that we learn along the way, for the strength that we gain, for how we actually choose to teach our heart and minds to open up in a way that we let ourselves be touched by love and to be embraced by love. Because when we go through traumas and things like that in our life, because we all go through little traumas in our life, or we have gone through little traumas in our life, they are memories that are in there that can come back up again when we go to experience another situation that could potentially have the same kind of ending. But they never have the same kind of ending if we teach ourselves to love ourselves in a way that we are allowing ourselves to be open to the new ending, I should say. We're allowing our heart and mind to be open. We're nurturing ourselves along the way. And yeah, we can manifest things by just simply affirming and affirming and affirming. But notice how you feel along the way. Notice who you are along the way. And as long as you are feeling good and you know you're doing right, and you know that your heart is in the right place, and you know that everything is working out for you, and you know that you are overcoming, and the more that you overcome, the stronger that you get, that your manifestations can come to you even when you're in a state of distress, that manifestations can come to you in that way. And it's about, if they do come to you in that way, it's taking the step then to know that, okay, well, I'm not feeling so good maybe right now, my manifestation is here, but that's okay. I'll nurture myself now. I'll tell myself that my manifestation is here to stay, and there is nothing that can mess it up, because it's all within me. Because we can manifest anything at any time, and it doesn't mean that we have to go through this whole healing journey. It doesn't mean that we have to have a great mindset, because we're always manifesting. But it's just to know that It's always about being grateful in the moment about how you are right now, you know, how far you have come, how you are feeling right now, and all of the traits that you are learning along the way, the person you are becoming out of it, the beautiful person that you are becoming out of it, because you are embracing your authenticity. And as you embrace your authenticity more through the confidence, you are accepting your soul. You're accepting your soul as significant. You're accepting your soul as a soul that matters in life. It's important. Your soul matters because you exist means that you matter. And so it's this kind of way that when we are faced then in the, I'm not saying that we're always going to be faced with adversities or circumstances, but it's just to kind of, you know, just get into the present moment and to understand what it is actually all about. And it's all about that inner knowing within yourself, and how you actually are able to stabilize yourself, prioritize yourself. And this means that you're able to give yourself the pass to cry it out and to do what you have to do along the way on your journey. Make mess ups, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, because there is no mess ups. But sometimes we may do little behaviors or things that we're not entirely proud of, but it's okay as long as we know that we are as long as we know that when we know better we do better, as Maya Angelou used to always say. I love that quote. But I just wanted to make a quick video on that, because I feel like it is really important to remember when we are manifesting for things in our life. It's not just about the physical of it. It's not just about getting the validation from what we are seeing in our 3D, but it's creating the validation from within, the genuine, true validation from within.